Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Thursday evening. The Bank of England have just announced their bank interest rates, the increase, and they've gone, oh, goodness gracious, hang on. Come on then, look. Come here. Oh, goodness gracious me. So this would be the noisy cat that's making all the noise. Say hello to Raven. Okay, we're done now? Happy? There we go. Sorry about that, but she was just meowed the whole time. So, the Bank of England have just announced their interest rate rise, and unlike the initially expected 0.25 percentage point, it is the 0.5. So it's double what we were thinking it was going to be this time last month. And that's bad enough. Obviously, mortgages, credit cards, loans, etc., that's all going to, repayments are going to go up. Had to laugh when they're saying, oh, it'll be really good for savers though. Savers don't get the full 0.5%. They'll be lucky if they get 0.25. I think the only one that's going to get the 0.5 is those who are doing the Help to Buy scheme. So yeah, it's not really going to help anyone. But what I found interesting was, if you remember back when the inflation rate started going up, ages and ages ago, it's like, oh, the Bank of England saying they expect inflation to hit 9% by the end of the year. And then it's like, oh, it might hit 10% by the end of the year. And last month it was like, oh, it might hit 11% by the end of the year. And today, what they've said is it might hit up to 13% in October. So not the end of the year, funnily enough. And if you remember what I said last night, there was the people who put out the proposal or the projection that they think that inflation rates will reach 15% by the beginning of next year, which is the end of this year. So all of a sudden, it's gone from being 11% at the end of this year to 13% in October, is what the Bank of England are saying. And this think tank is saying they think 15% by the beginning of next year, which is the end of this year. So it's all just semantics and the way they're trying to describe things and explain things. And you're like, do you think we're fools? Add to that the fact that they're now saying that the energy price cap can happen every 3 months instead of every 6 months. Now, at the moment, they're saying, I think October, they're thinking it'll go, is it 3,500 they're thinking the average will be? Compared to like a 1,200 or something this time last year. And now they want to give the energy company the opportunity to change the price cap every 3 months rather than every 6 months, because that will allow them to drop the prices quicker if they manage. Anyone taking any bets on when the energy companies are going to drop the rates? Because I'm not holding my breath. I do not think that's going to happen anytime soon. Then there's the reports of we're going to hit a recession later this year. It's going to last a minimum of a year. So, for the next 2 years probably we're going to be in recession, and that's going to make it so much more difficult for us. And then you see the absolute absurdity, and this is me reining this one back. Amazon offering a 35 pence an hour wage rise, and then saying, oh, but we're going to make our new start on £10.50 an hour. The minimum wage goes up to £10.30 something this time next year, in April next year. So they're barely going to be making over minimum wage. So don't give me your rubbish that you think that sounds like a good pay deal, 35 pence an hour. No wonder they're out on strike. With the billions of profits Amazon's making because they're offshore and they've registered the company in Ireland, that's why all your stuff comes from Amazon Ireland, they are paying little to no taxes, and they expect to give a pay rise in the middle of a cost of living crisis of 35 pence an hour. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that is today's news in my terms. There's obviously other things happening in the news, but none of which are really remotely interesting. I don't care about Rebecca Vardy, I don't care about Meghan Markle, I don't care about any of them. I care about feeding my family and managing to heat my home and keep myself going through the next year. Now, I know that there's some people I know who their houses are rented and they are not warm. There is drafts come through the windows and everything. So we are going to have to try and sort out their house. But also I have said to them, come down here. I've got the wood burner. You know, we cannot have someone sitting in a house, chittering the night away, wrapped up in a nest and still freezing when I have got heat. So they're more than welcome to come down to mine, the more the merrier. And if that means they need to stay over and sleep on my couch, then that is just what it's going to take. And I think that's going to happen in a few cases because we know that there's a lot of rental properties, and it's not just private landlords, it's council landlords as well, and housing associations where they just haven't got round to the maintenance. And best of all in the world, I work in reinstatement and construction, and it's not that easy just now. It really isn't. Getting materials is a nightmare. Getting guys is a nightmare. And trust me when I tell you, if you've got young people, tell them to take up a trade. An old school electrician, plumber, joiner, because, oh dear Lord, we cannot get them for love nor money. So that's probably why some of the maintenance hasn't happened. Others, it's just that they're greedy. We all know that. So we'll just take that as read. But there's going to be a few people really struggling this winter. So, prep more. You know now. It's going to be a recession. It's going to cost you so much more in October. Anything you can get together now, get it together. Because in October, the energy prices are going up. Your inflation's already gone up. It's not going down next month. It's going up. And the suggestion is that it will go up another 0.5, not 0.25. So whatever cash you can pull together just now, get yourself some preps in, especially for heating and lighting, because that is going to cost a fortune. But also watch your food, get yourself some basics put aside, because this is not going away anytime soon. So yeah, that is this evening's video. Now, just before I sign off, if you remember, I pressure canned for the first time and I did my mince. See? So that's ready to go up the stairs. But I bought smaller jars, because that jar that I've just showed you, it's a 750ml jar and it takes a pound of minced beef. So I bought little jars. And from the packages I was using of the beef, there's approximately, it was a 400 gram packet and I got like almost all of it. There was a wee bit less. So I'd say 300 grams is in here. That's half a pound of beef. That's enough for Patrick and I. So, and if Patrick's not here, that's enough for me for 2 nights. In this little small jar. I'm so excited about this. I'm like, I still have another 6 of the small jars and another 4 of the big jars. So they're getting done at the weekend. But yes, this is as you can see, my little flat lid going like that and it doesn't come off. So excited. So yes, much more pressure canning will be getting done this weekend, because I need to fill up the freezer again. I need to get some meat while it's still cheaper. And if you look on the recipes on a lot of the homesteading channels, you see them saying, canned beef stew, canned chicken curry, canned do whatever, canned veggies. I'm not canning any veggies. I need my meat stored. That's what's expensive. That's what's going to be more difficult for me to afford. I am not taking up any pressure canning space with veggies that, alright, will be more expensive. They're still not going to be the price of meat. All my canning is going to be done, my pressure canning is going to be done with meat, just to try and give me a kind of half decent start. So, go prep more. Don't stop, because this is not getting any easier anytime soon. So I will go now, and I will catch you later.